Hey, welcome to another episode of the Evolve Dad Shortcast. So, we're coming up to the end of the year, and you're probably seeing ads and posts, all sorts of content coming out about how you have this amount of days till the end of the year and get ready for the new year, all sorts of stuff like that. And a conversation that I had with someone recently was I'm not David Goggins. I'm not choose any person that takes life to the nth degree. That's not me. And that's a very valid argument. It's something that could really become very heartbreaking for many, thinking that they get all excited about it, but then they read a David Goggins book or they read about somebody else's story and then they're devastated because they take the wrong message from the content. They take the message of, I have to live life up here and I'm down here. I can't do that. And I definitely can't keep life up here. Maybe for a little bit. Then it's going to go here. And then slowly down. I'm going to work my way back down. And they're taking the wrong message. The message is not the fact that we have to live life constantly with the pedal to the metal. Constantly where we're going at 150 miles an hour. No. There are times to go 150 miles an hour. And there are times to go on cruise. There are times where we're going to have setbacks. But there are times that you pick back up. And that's really what I want to focus on talking about today. When it comes to the end of the year, I'm very big into staying away from starting with New Year's resolutions. Because New Year's resolutions are setting a start time for whatever it is that you're going to do. But if it's really important enough, you should be starting now. And to be honest, as a busy father, being a dad, it's a full-time job. On top of everything else that's going on, you have a family. You want to build the relationships with your kids, with your wife, taking care of bills, maintenance around the house, whatever it may be. And don't forget about time for yourself. Where do we find time for it? So the idea is taking that step back and realizing that there's no such thing as perfection. Grab onto a goal that is important to you. Start it before the end of the year. Start that now. But realize you don't have to live up here. Your goals don't have to keep you up here. You're going to start out up here, that's for sure. Or you're going to slowly work your way up to there. And then you're going to run there for a while. Then slowly but surely, you're going to be able to take it down. And you'll be able to live down here. Because realizing that your 150 miles an hour that you're up here, that's only temporary. But soon enough, that becomes your baseline. You're no longer up here at 150 miles an hour. You're back on cruise. That's your new basic. And are you ever going to slip back below that to where you were before? It's possible. Let's take a workout, for example. This summer was not the best time for me as far as dealing with my regular nutrition, my regular workout, my hygiene. I didn't take such good care of myself, but I had an amazing experience with my family. Would I go back and change that? Definitely not. But I did learn for the future the things that I do have to change in order to maintain my activities and my hygiene much better next time. So it's a learning experience. Did I fail at certain things? Yes, but I learned from them. And that's what's important. But keeping in mind that, yes, I fell behind. So I was cruising. I initially was up here at my 150. I brought it back down to here. I was cruising, but then I fell below that. So what am I doing now? I'm back up to my old 150. I'm pushing forward. I'm not stopping. But slowly over time, that's going to become my new standard. I'm going to be back on cruise. And I've learned better how to keep that cruise at my base level and not to fall back. Will I fall back below that? It's possible. But I know that I could do the 150. And that's what's important. The importance is understanding going to the nth degree. Going back to the dieting example, cutting out carbs for 90% of the time. Is it a lifetime thing? No, it doesn't have to be. But is it something that I'm going to do now when I'm more focused on getting back to where I want to be? Yeah. Is cutting out alcohol something that needs to be done in the long term? It's up to you. But if it's something that you could do in the short term that's going to help you get to your goal quicker, why wouldn't you do it? Hit that 150. Stay at that 150 for now. Not forever. Because soon that's going to become your baseline. And you're going to be able to cruise. Which means, yeah, you may be able to have your carbs here and there. You'll be able to have your alcohol here and there. And whatever else you're doing for your workout, for your diet, you're able to maintain it easier. But sometimes you need to push that limit. You need to push yourself harder. But it's not where you have to stay. Don't think of it as that you're going to have the pedal to the metal forever and ever. The idea is that you're going to set yourself a new standard. And that new standard is somewhere around that 150 that you're pushing now. So yeah, you're going to have to push harder up front. But keeping in mind, that's going to become your new standard. Once that becomes your new standard, you can reassess. You see what works, you see what doesn't work. Maybe you fall down a little bit, but then you pick yourself back up. Maybe here and there, you push yourself a little bit higher. You're not quite at the 150, or maybe you're going back up to the 150. Maybe that's you. Set that new cruise control, and you do 150 again, and you keep raising that level. And that's awesome, but that's not something that you have to do. The idea is to take it to the next step without having those setbacks. And when you do have those setbacks, make sure to learn from them. Because the worst thing that you can do is to fail and not learn from it. And yes, own the fact that it's a failure. Because that's what happens in life. We do things, we try new things, we fail, we learn, and then we continue. When you learned how to walk, when you learned how to ride a bike, when you learned how to run, you fell. But what happened? You learned. You don't ride over that rock, especially as a beginner, because you're not going to be able to get over it. You're going to fall. You learn to go around it. When you're walking, sometimes you need to hold on, and that's okay. But for the most part, you're able to walk away from the couch or whatever you're holding on to. Maybe that's the adult's hand. Whatever these things are, whatever other things you're looking to do in life, there's always going to be a point of failure. And that's good. You're pushing your limits. You're trying harder. Do you have setbacks from those things? Could very well be. But that's okay. Because as long as you don't give up and you keep going, you learn from those failures, that's how you're going to succeed. And that's really all it's about. There is no other secret sauce. That's the basics of what it is. Just keep showing up. Keep showing up and realize you don't always have to have your foot with the pedal to the metal. It doesn't need to be like that. But there are times where you do need to do that. And be okay with that. Realize that this is that time. And when you're suffering through and you're exhausted and you're not feeling it, go back, drill into why you're doing this, and remind yourself this is not a permanent thing. This is to get me to the next level. Once you break through to that next level, you set yourself a new floor. It's no longer your ceiling. Now it's your floor. Your new baseline is higher up. So coming to the end of the year, don't get discouraged from when people are telling you that you have to go 150 miles an hour and you got to keep it up for the rest of your life or you're never going to succeed. No, you are going to succeed. You are going to have to go 150 miles an hour for now, but it's not going to be permanent because you're going to be at a new level. And once you're at that new level, it's a whole new world. As always, I want to thank you for spending your time with me today. This is Jonathan, the Evolved Dad, signing off.